Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with Pacific Nut Producer Magazine, reporting to you here today from the Kearney Ag Center. I'm here with Kris Tollerup from the UC Cooperative Extension IPM advisor. You know, this year with the large almond crop and the unpredicted weather patterns we've seen, almonds have been on the ground longer than we had expected, and as a result, it's likely that we've experienced greater almond damage on the crop this year. I wanted to talk with Kris about identifying which ant species are most problematic for almonds and how to control them. Here's Kris.
Now it's a little late now to do much, but likely in the future we're going to be facing these same types of issues. So ant control can be very, very critical. Although there are many, many ant species in California and out there and worldwide, in almonds, it's interesting. We only have 2 pest ant species that occur commonly in almond. All the way from the northern San Joaquin Valley and up into the Sacramento Valley region, down into Kern County. And that is the southern fire ant and the pavement ant. And those are both lipid-feeding or protein-feeding ant species. So luckily, we have some very, very effective baits against those species. And there's the IGR type, which is the insect growth regulator, and there's the stomach poison type. So I'm not endorsing any one bait here. I'm just trying to cover all the available baits. But the insect growth regulators, if you choose to use one of those, the pyriproxyfen or the methoprene, you really want to make sure that you don't irrigate 24 hours before, 24 hours after you put the bait out. They take a little bit longer to work, so you want to back up about 8 weeks before harvest to make sure when you're going to put those nuts on the ground that you have those those populations tapped down. The stomach poisons, which are metaflumozone, which is Ultraven, and abamectin, which is clinch, are very, very effective. They work faster, about four weeks before you see a substantial effect. But with something like Ultraven, you might see a substantial effect in as few as 7 days. So those are really the ant bait options that you have out there. Really, you want to start monitoring for ants very early in the season. Not too early because they're not very active. May, start looking for the ant species in May, and there's some great tools out there. We did a study in grapes and looked at treating twice with the different kinds of baits, and we had quite a bit of a substantial effect with the IGR applied twice, once in March, in May, and then again about 8 weeks later. And the following year, we didn't detect any ants. That was against the pavement ant in vineyards, but it's very applicable to almonds, remember, because that's one of the pest species. That ant was gone. So they're starting maybe coming back a little bit. So about a 3-year program can really, really tap down those ant species. And I want to mention one thing. If you have the red imported fire ant, which is a really bad ant to have in your almond orchard, the IGRs can work extremely well against that ant, and I believe you can eradicate that ant in your orchard in about 3 years with an aggressive baiting program.
Thank you, Kris. Read more about these things in Pacific Nut Producer Magazine. We're also looking forward for more information. Kris will be speaking at our virtual Tree Vine Expo on this topic, so look forward to that. We'll see you virtually there this November. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.